Hello, hello, welcome back. Happy Monday. I'm Annie, and I'm going to do your weekly channeled reading. And I also want to remind you that I do offer one-on-one readings, 30 and 60-minute sessions. So if you want all of this business directed right at your life, you can totally do that. You can book sessions through the link in my bio. All right, let's see what energy theme we got. This little guy. The Sugar Glider, the card of trust. We've seen him quite a bit lately. Let's go in with our guides here and see what we can get on this theme for the week. Once again, this feeling is coming up of putting ourselves out there, doing something outside of the norm, making a decision that feels like not a typical path, not a typical decision for us. I feel like there's some, I want to say Delulu energy here of like, but I mean it in a positive way. I don't think it's necessarily dangerous to act and feel like optimistic and like everything is going to go our way, and to start making some decisions this week with that kind of perspective and that kind of optimism, like this trust that life has our back, and that if we follow the threads of what's calling to us, then we will be directed onto the right path. And I'm really feeling this heart's longing here, like this deep heart's desire that is calling us, that is speaking to us, and that this is a week where we might feel ready to heed that call or engage with that heart desire energy. And if we've been trying to not pay attention to it, or trying to push it down or ignore it, or tell ourselves that it's not realistic, this is a week where our heart's desire might become so strong that it forces us to acknowledge it. And what's kind of beautiful about that is that I see that if we have been resistant to acknowledging our heart's desire, and then we have a moment this week where we finally just accept it, or we finally just acknowledge it, I feel like there's this sense of just melting of relief, even if it's not easy, even if we don't know how to follow it or how to give our heart what it wants. I think just the acknowledgement of what our true desire is can be incredibly healing and relieving for some of us here. And also for some of us here, there are things that our soul actually intended for us in this lifetime. And sometimes the way that our souls speak to us is that it won't let us let something go. There's something, this like niggling idea, this thing that no matter how many times we turn away from, it won't ever stop speaking to us. And this is a week where I feel like those soul contracts, I don't know what you'd want to call them, soul agreements, but they're soul agreements that we made with ourself for the experiences that we wanted our soul to have in this lifetime, are coming up now to be looked at. And part of the acknowledgement and part of the accepting of our heart's desire or our soul's agreements is this understanding that we may need to have a perspective shift about what that actually looks like in our life. And we might have to start telling ourselves a different story about how we actually give that to ourselves. Like there can be stories around, well, if I can't do it this one way, then I'm not even going to give it to myself at all. If I can't have it in this particular structure or ideal situation, then I'm just going to have to wait. And then we just wait and wait and wait and wait. And it just doesn't ever happen. And this is a week where those old stories and those old barriers and beliefs that we've held around why we can't actually have the thing that our heart wants may be in need of reconstructing, dissolving and rebuilding, and understanding how we can allow these elements that are important to our souls into our lives in ways that might not look like how we would have imagined them, but they're absolutely better than nothing. Okay. So like, what is the easiest access point? What is the easiest pathway to the thing without it having to be the full-blown ideal imagining of your dream? What is an easy access point that can still get you engaged with that energy? And for some of us, that's going to be a perspective shift this week that will actually be really, really helpful. Okay, so I hope that you all have a beautiful week, and I will see you next Monday.